the stream in a creative world. Just ignore this. This is supposed to be a fish tank. It's supposed to have a lot of fish in there. They despawn. Tropical fish despawned. Okay. Apparently you need coral. Anyways, so here's where I was testing out all the farms and stuff and how they worked. At that, I made a much bigger villager breeder over here. So, oh, yeah, let's fix that. Anyways, built a much bigger villager breeder, so this is kind of what I'm going to build eventually. Carrot and potato farm as well. There's just way too many carrots in here. I probably should make a minecart system, or at least extend this so that it also goes around here. So when it's around, and that wouldn't be too hard. All I'd have to do was just take these turnarounds out, just make like a line that goes all the way around. So it'd be easy to do. Just pick up all the extra ones because here's where baby villagers show up. Hopper system. I have just an infinite amount of carts in here almost. I've actually used more a lot. This way, and I was trying to get like all of the villager trades built up. I'm still gonna do that. So I got a villager sorter here. This is my storage area. So I just have 10 of them and I can just work on this. And then just go over there and click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and I get just 11 out here. I also stored them over here so I could have some of them separated out. This, and I think one of the villagers despawned. So unless there's two of them stacked up, here, here, or here, I sincerely doubt. I think this one's missing one, which is affecting the rates of the iron farm. This is the iron farm I wanted to make. Very simple. It forces all of them into this tube here. So on this level, they all get forced into this level. They get forced into here. Then basically, that's going to be the tube they all get in. See, so there's a golem spawning there. There's one spawning there. So there's enough villagers here. I mean, the only easy way to fix it would just be drop a stack of potatoes in there. So then they die, and this 3x3 area of lava falls on these 9 hoppers. I had to despawn the. I just spawn proof this because I had golems spawning like right here. It's me. I don't know why I'm hiccuping so bad. Then I set it up. See, so I finally fixed the hopper stuff. So what happens is they end up this hopper. At least I think they do. Just had a couple spawn. So let's see here. Golems die. Let's see. They're just going round and round in in the hoppers. But okay, easy fix to this. Oh dear lord. So then it's a matter of whether or not they get. So let's see, this should be fixed now. Okay, so what should happen now is if these get full and they can't push them forward anymore, they'll push them down. So this one will probably be the first one filled up. And then after that, when they all get filled up. Okay. I got confused with my Minecraft mechanics, but now, basically, it'll circle around and it'll get filled up in this one. Good way to do it. That's not a good way to do it. I should actually leave it as that because then So let's do this. If I leave it as this, when they all get filled up, um, they'll all circle everything around into this one, and that'll fill those 3 chests. And then they'll all circle it around. This won't be able to dump to the down anymore. They'll all fill up again as many times as that makes. I think that'll be the more efficient way to do this. May have to do some more research. I may have to build like a little hopper system somewhere in this area to test that. Oh, by the way, this is just a bunch of emeralds. So that way I can sit here and do trading. Why have you not turned into a cartographer yet? I've been sitting here for 3 days in game. Yeah. I say I mean every villager trade, so every, not all the enchantments and stuff, but all that kind of stuff. Anyways, so these are some hopper clocks, and then I think, where did I get this little setup from? None of this was designed by me. The application was designed by me. All of this was my design, and how it's all being put to use is my design, but the actual clock and the way it works is not. So, let's see here. Yeah. So, this is the part where we're actually going to discuss what I'm working on. So, this is, I set this up to test a new kind of building technique, how I want my farms to work, and there's glass preventing me from up. But this was the original design. I was still using observers. In my experience, sugarcane doesn't reliably grow up to 4, so I set it up at 3. Bamboo and kelp obviously do, so I set them up with 5 just to give me some max and give a nice sort of height to the build. So this is going to be about the height we're dealing with. And then I had the same setup I had outside the bamboo for the bamboo and the kelp. And then here I had the sugarcane out the same way. Then I basically had this set up, and this made it a lot more compact. It's a much smaller footprint, and I get basically the same amount of sugarcane, kelp, and everything out of it. I get, but it's much more efficient with the kelp bamboo. I get more out of it. And then over here, I did the same thing, but I'm like, what if I did it with timers? Like, what? Why is that? So that's something to watch out for. In fact, okay, so that's not good. So what I can do here is just pop in there, do that, fix that. Oh, and this is what I mean by, so there's glass right here under this water, just to make it look nice. But this water basically goes out, pushes all of it down into one thing. And these farms are symmetrical, so basically water flows to this side and this flows to this side. So it's all symmetrical right now. But this is going to be the general way the farm looks. So you're going to have this kind of square input with this kind of extra bulge off the sides that I build to this kind of tower up to give it a little bit more shape. And I'll build a shell on the outside in survival, but that's entirely dependent on how I feel about it. Ooh, I really should have added the stone to. So oh, that. So it's nice and lit up. That one I'm less worried about, but it's just it's an OCD thing at this point. Um, because I want these farms to be functional in survival as well. So, And I may not be using glass because glass is really stinking hard to gather enough of it to be feasible because it's sand. Then you have to smelt all the sand up, which my current setup, that's not the issue. It's the sand itself. Because I have enough dried kelp to smelt like all of that. And if I go to do did I repair it when I fell down through it? What? Why would I? Why did I repair something I know I have to go back through? Okay, cool. And I may not be using glowstone. I may use torches in those little pockets, but in fact I probably will just to be safe. Oh, and these little things I'm planning on building more platforms, but that's for another day, another stream. So, so there was a little tropical fish farm in here. It's a little aquarium, just to make it look nice. But I'll probably build. What I'll do is I'll take this empty space in here, and I'm going to take these clocks. I'm going to use the clocks because they are more efficient, and I'll show you the numbers in a minute. I'm going to take these clocks, and I'm actually going to invert this. So that's why I may not put a shell on it. I'm going to take these and I'm going to face them outwards. Take all the farms, face them outwards so you can walk around the farm and look and see it being productive. And then I'm going to build all of the redstone, all of this inside. So what I'll probably do is I'll take the bamboo farm, the kelp farm, and I may run them off the same clock because I believe I'm using the same timing, everything. But I'll run all four of them off the same clock. So what I'll do is I'll take a pulse out one side of it. Oop, here goes some bamboo. I'll take a pulse out of one side of it, and I'll send that to the bamboo farm. Then what I'll do is I'll have that pulse run behind the clock, and I'll send that to the kelp farm. So that'll probably be built in the middle, and then just above it, just high enough so I don't have to worry about it interfering, but just above it, I'll build the sugarcane timer. Since it has a different timing, it actually has, let's see here. I can do the math real fast. I can just, okay, so that's 2.5 stacks almost, I think, something close to that. It's like 2 stacks and 22 items. And then what happens is when this is pulled away, that's halfway through, and then when it gets pushed back, it sends out the pulse. So this is about a 2 to 4 minute timer, if I remember correctly. And if that's the kelp side, and then the bamboo, if the bamboo has, originally these were the same, I may have taken some out of the kelp side because kelp grows faster. Yeah, no. So they're on the same timer. So here, and again, see how it's pulled away. When this gets pushed back in, it'll send a pulse, but then that starts the timer. So the first half of the timer moves the redstone block away. Second half of the timer, once it goes off, moves it back, and that's what sends the redstone pulse through to these repeaters here. This activates first level, then it gets sent up this redstone tower, and every time it reaches a new layer, it goes to another mine of redstone. Same with BAM. Same here. So, and then it comes out that you end up having to, in order to make the redstone work, you have to kind of create this little ledge at the top. It's just how it works. It's what happens. Just a simple redstone torch tower with just a piece of redstone on a piece of stone behind the pistons. So I could do the same thing here. I could just put stone behind here, but I have enough repeaters that why not? Why not do it this way? Just so that way there's a little bit of delay, and what it does do is it means it harvests all of this at once. So it runs the timer long enough that everything should grow. And see those bamboo down there? Same thing happens with the sugar cane. So that's why I may put a hopper minecart system in And since it is, the sugarcane is one higher, what I may do is I may take the hopper minecart and I may run it, then it'll go up behind the sugarcane, and then it'll go from the sugarcane down behind the bamboo, across behind the bamboo, up behind the sugarcane, and then what it'll do from there is that it will probably go under the stuff for the kelp, and then it'll stop, and I'll have storage systems for all the farms. Since I'm planning on doing the clocks in the middle, the storage for all the farms will be down. One half will be there, and one half will be there. The kelp will be easy because all of it gets pushed down to the bottom here. It's pushed out, and it all falls down to those hoppers. And then here, it all gets bundled into one hopper. The bamboo, it all gets pushed out, which I could do similar to this, but it doesn't require the water. So I actually get away with it just being too wide here, like with that. But see, so much of it falls on there that it's kind of losing out. So the hopper minecart would just make things more efficient. And that's something that would be a future evolution of the farm. Because see, the sugarcane farms already have that basically built in. They already have, because of the way I have to build them, they already have that extra space just built into the design. The kelp farms and the bamboo farms, however, don't. So what I'd have to do is I'd probably have to make them taller, because I don't want to lose the efficiency I currently have in them. So to kind of show you the testing, what I did is I removed, after I got all the farms built, I turned the day-night cycle off, and I turned random tick speed off, because that's what affects growth of plants, growth of kelp, bamboo, and sugarcane. So I turned all that off. Creative World I have commands on, and then I emptied out these chests. So that way everything that fell into the chest was due to the same amount of time elapsing. I haven't removed anything from these chests since. So, show you the kelp comparison. We have 2 rows, and then a 7 stacks, and then 9, and then up here we have 10. So remember that, 2 rows, 7 stacks, and 9, and then another 10. So, yeah. And here we have 2 rows, 5 stacks, 25, 2. So that is more efficient. So in the time that has elapsed, which I think is about 2 to 3 hours, no, it's a lot. It's actually a lot of time, because those have been running the entire time I was working on this, and this has taken me, this took me a good half a day almost to do. So, and they were running while I did that too. In fact, actually, no, I built that while this was all one layer, and then I built 4 more layers. I built 3 more layers. So, yeah. I've done multiple tests for this, because, see, all of this is stuff that's been produced by the farms. So, that's kelp. Sugarcane, I have 7 stacks again and 16, and I think I showed sugarcane briefly here. 6 stacks and 42, so that is about half a stack difference. It is more in the long run, so if this is something this is kind of your mega project at the beginning of a world, and you don't have access to like a slime farm and everything to make a lot of flying machines, or you just don't want to build flying machines, this is a good thing to do. This sort of thing, or that one with the timer. And then the bamboo, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 3, 33, 34. Bamboo here. 1, 2. Yeah, that's a whole row difference, and then we have 2 whole stacks in the top chest. And the reason they're in here is because that bottom hopper got filled up. So, example there. You can look at that. And there, I can't look at the other one. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Then here, the hoppers just get overfull. So this is what we're planning on building. This is what we're going to be using to replace the others. Again, eventually I'm going to make my farm here a lot more efficient. So it's this, and this is a lot more efficient. I had a bunch of them escape once, but that was in reloading the world, which I think is what's happening in the other one. Hold up, I know what's going on here. I don't have an item sorter, so this gets kind of confuggled. And yes, I said that very intentionally to be the way I meant it. If I had an item sorter, this wouldn't be a problem. And I may move this out and make it an item sorter in a bit. That's not going to be for today's stream. That's going to be off of stream. I have been going for another 20 minutes. Oh, bee farm. This one I'm actually kind of proud of. So, the redstone itself, I didn't do. I did not do the redstone for this by any stretch of the imagination. So, don't credit me for it, anything like that. So, you can kind of hear the clippers and the bottles going off. So under all of these nests, there's a hopper line that leads out to these chests. Alright, so that's our collection. Ooh, why is there honeycomb in the farm? It's strange. Am I losing honeycomb and honey bottles? Do I need to bring this out to make a better collection system? Oh well. But originally, each of these were separated by a line of glass right here, and I decided to knock that out because it wasn't efficient. But basically, I have hoppers and chests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 all have bottles in them, and then these 5 all have shears. See, there's another set of the honeycomb. This gives me honeycomb. Those give me honey bottles. So this is a farm I'm eventually going to build. And then down there, since I built this, this is what it's produced for me. So that's actually really good. So redstone behind is pretty easy to understand. You have a block behind the honey's nest, and you have a comparator that does the redstone output dependent on how much honey is in the honey's nest, and then once it reaches the dispenser either dispenses out shears to get honeycomb or bottles to get honey. And as you can see, pretty much each one has gone about the same number of times. Do all of those, and then these you can't really tell here because I have these all sweet shears, but basically they're all on 230s, 229 area, 230s, I think there was like 29. So yeah, they're all basically been fired off the same amount of times because they all fill up about the same amount of times. Each one of these has 3 bees in it. I made sure of that. So this is basically the max efficiency you can have for this farm. I know you can probably make it smaller, but it makes me feel like I'm actually raising the bees in a humane way by having this larger inner area. So it's modular. You can make this, the redstone doesn't interfere with each other. You can extend this in either direction, or you can just have it alternate. You can just have it be shears, honey bottles, shears, bottles, shears, bottles, shears, and you just have it do this instead of being half and half, and just keep it going. It's completely modular. It's just a one wide system. As long as you have enough redstone and stuff to make the one wide system, enough to make the nests, and enough iron to keep making hoppers to go into the dispensers and everything, and it can stay in render distance, you can keep making this. And then all you have to do to double it up is to turn this around, make it that way, or you can make it, or you can even take this here, put dirt on these, make this, and put dirt for flowers in between those, and you can build it up. You just need a layer between this and the bee's nest because the redstone doesn't go further down than the bee's nest. So as long as any redstone below isn't going to power redstone above, we're good to go, essentially. So yeah, this is just me experimenting with a modular bee design. And you can find a lot of these on Planet Minecraft, uh, or the Minecraft wiki. You can find a lot of these designs. These are not, um, for example, this is an Il Mango design, the beds. So this is a basic, peaceful Minecraft iron farm. So you don't need any of the mobs. And if I wanted to, I could make a glass rail system around here and have a minecart with a zombie. If I took it off peaceful, just go around and around and around, spooking the villagers. It would probably increase the rates of the farm. So that's all I'd have to do there. The villager breeder is your standard villager breeder. Impulse SV is the one I watched to get the design from. Uh, this block right there is completely unnecessary. It's just an aesthetic block. Um, like I said, I have an obsession with stone. And then I made this just to kind of spawn proof it. It is already spawn proof, but it looks better this way. And if I wanted to take all of this, turn it to dirt, turn what needs to be slabs and staircases into slabs and staircases, I could basically make this tileable all the way up, and then all I'd have to do was create a get slabs here. Basically create this over and over again. And I think all I need to do that was to place a fence post right here. Yeah. Place a fence post in place of this, and then take these trapdoors, put them one up, do all the same thing, and it would be good to go. Basically I've just made it spawn proof. Because this is a creative testing world, I don't need to test to see if it creates 400 villagers per hour, 900. It works well enough for my purposes. If I was on a server and I was planning on selling stuff, I would make it much more efficient. But this being on a single player world, and yeah, there's no point in doing that. But these are the farms that we're going to be replacing our current farms with eventually. So this is going to be the design for ripping stuff out to the build tonight, and it's not going to get built tonight by any means because I still need a whole lot of wood because I'm going to change these fence gates for spruce gates. I have been talking a lot and it's starting to build up a lot of saliva, so I didn't want to be spitting on my mic. I'm sorry. Um, I'm gonna need all those fence gates because that has to be a fence gate every single bit except for maybe in front of the dirt. But every single bit I need fence gates, and then I need all of the water in the front to need be source blocks except the top block because I've discovered that unless it's a source block, items will not flow to the top. So, and then here, I'm probably going to do the zigzag just to make it artistic because why not? It would also probably allow items to pass through the hopper instead of them all getting clogged up. It'll give the hopper time to get the first layer, then the second layer done before the fourth layer arrives. And then here, I may do something like this in the water, but these two, this one, I don't need to for the kelp, but for the bamboo, in fact, actually, if I'm extending these two up each time, one, two, yeah, it may not work the way I want it to. It would probably have to go down to the sugar cane, go up, and then go down, then go up, and then down, and then go up. And then I probably have to dump it into the, I'll worry about the storage system once I get the farm built. Once I know how much room I have to work. Is there anyone actually in my chat now? Oh, I do have some viewers. Hello. I thought I was still talking to myself. It doesn't tell me that when someone else is in chat. How are you? How are you guys? Oof. Sorry, I tapped off Minecraft, and when I tap in, that typically happens. Alright, so we are actually going to jump back to my survival world. Let me put my character down here. And we're gonna be grinding, dismantling dismantling my old farms. So uh, maybe it may not be as interesting, but maybe we can just hang out and chat while I do that. So welcome. What are your names? Bot Callisto and M Salinity? If I got those wrong, let me know. I think I got them right. I bought Costello. I think I got that one wrong the first time. Pull Minecraft back up, back to game. Oh, I took some damage. Yeah, this is my survival world. This is where we're going to be working on these projects. I may not stream too often. I'm in college, but hey, here's all that. So this is the current kelp farm. It is laced with inefficiencies, and I removed the bamboo farm mostly off stream, but the stream I did earlier, like an hour or two ago, I finished ripping out the floor. So we're gonna go to the top of this. This is the sugarcane farm. It's basically the same, but one of the biggest inefficiencies. That's my villager breeder. One of the biggest inefficiencies of this farm, the reason I'm ripping it out, is that the sugarcane and kelp are connected. So every time one of them activates, the other side activates, and it makes a huge inefficiency because then you lose, at bare minimum, you're losing like 3 or 4 of each. At maximum, you lose probably around 8. So for each pulse, and it makes things a lot more difficult than it needs to be. And I had a roof on top of this thing, and we're basically I'm getting up here. I need my sponges. And I'm gonna use all these items to rebuild the farm. So instead of it being stone, it's gonna be spruce. There are my sponges. We're gonna need that for the kelp farm. Just use standard blocks for the sugarcane, but we need that for the kelp farm. Let's see here. Don't I have shop? Oh, that's Discord. It don't do me anything. Hey. Is it just not updated? Huh. I guess y'all may not be in chat. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. I'm still here. Stream does lag a little bit behind. I wonder if there's a latency setting that I have that puts it like a good 4 to 5 seconds behind what's actually going on. Twitch, so I can actually see OBS. Oh, really? Sorry, messaging someone back. It's mindless grinding now. Mindless grinding. so now we gotta kind of not fall and do this. Okay, this is gonna be the story of our lives for several hours. In fact, I'm actually probably gonna call the stream here. I got about 30 minutes before I should really call it. So I wanted to do 2 1-hour streams. Oh, cool. Alright. Oh, I forgot to grab the bamboo out of my house. Stacking bamboo I need to go grab. Should probably have Twitch up so I can actually see my live viewer. Maybe why people that. Huh. Guess I lost some of my followers because I was inactive so long. Did I get all? Oh, ow. Broke my ankle. Alright, so all of that is gone, so now time to get rid of these. Go get those in a minute. Yeah, should have seen that one coming. This is good for getting rid of that durability at least. Uh, so much stripping out of old farms. Yeah. Worst part is I only had these farms operational for like 2 weeks. And I'm already stripping them out. Let's finish getting around all of this. Is my mic on? Yeah. Oh, that would have been embarrassing. About 3 seconds. Break this, and then I'm going to see how long it takes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So it's about 4 seconds. Not terrible. There's also the fact that I'm basically sending the stream out and then recalling it back to my own computer. My computer's having to do the processing, so I'm really dealing with probably about 3 seconds of latency. Just probably 1 second. That's just my computer having to basically replay back to me what's going through not just on my computer, but OBS as well. So who needs the MLG water bucket when you have an ocean? I should probably carry a water bucket around so I can actually start doing that. The one time I tried it, I died. One time. And then there's sugarcane. Here we go. Here's where we're probably going to deal with a lot of the extra stuff. Give me just a moment. So, it's my fiance. Talk to her. A little bit of advice to anyone who may be younger in my audience that may see this. When you have a significant other of any kind, it is best to not make them wait best for you to message them back. Um, like I'm a firm believer in that if they expect you to text back within like 20 seconds every time, you're may need to have a discussion with them, but don't don't leave them on red for like 4 hours. I'm guilty of it. I really am, but you should never be guilty of it and not try to do better. Like seriously. Why is there one on the Oh, right, I have the granite staircase that gets you up to the roof. Right? It does get up to the roof. Okay. Almost. I think this is just the other one that escaped. And it's okay, yeah, yeah. It's not on the roof, it's over there. It was just it was just the perfect angle to look like it was on the roof, I guess. Just go around and collect any fallen items. See, see, doesn't it look like he's standing on the top of the farm? It looks like he's standing on top of the farm. Right? Stream, you can see that, right? Yeah, he's standing on top of the farm. I don't care what anyone says. He is. This is the one that would be dangerous, so get up. That. There's a point. I think it's like right here. I think it's these four. 2, 3. Well, it's these 9. When you go down, there's just a straight drop, and there's no way to get out of it without going through the farms. It's just a hollow area, and that's why I say currently this is basically just a giant waste of inefficient use of space, and it's not working. I need my farms to be reasonably compact if I'm going to make them. I don't want giant messes. Like, I understand if they're not like completely and totally the most efficient use of space, the most efficient use of resources, the most efficient gaining of resources. I just need them to work. I need them to look reasonably good, and I need them to look like I actually tried and put effort into making them. Um, that is what I need out of my farms. Because if I feel like I haven't put effort into making the farm, I don't deserve the resources out of it, if that makes any sort of twisted sense. Oh, right. No, I'm not green. I'm not green in disguise. I don't know, he has a distinctive voice. I think most people could tell me apart from Korean. In fact, I'm sure a lot of people that would follow me would probably follow Hermitcraft, so um, I will eventually be learning how to make some mumbo jumbo farms. Eventually. Like when I automate my cobblestone farm over there, just the pile of sand, when I make an automatic cobblestone farm, instead of one I have to sit there and AFK at, I will be using Mumbo Jumbo's design. I'll be using the same thing. Also be using his design for a concrete maker because I plan to make my mega base for this project out of concrete for this particular world. I'm trying to follow kind of the season 7 way of doing things. You have your starter base over there, which that is my starter base, and then you slowly build out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my starter base and do sort of like Stress Monster did in season 7, or is doing in season 7, and take my starter base and just build it out. Um, I haven't seen her upload to Hermitcraft in a while, so I'm not entirely sure she's still on the server. If she is, and she's still playing on the server, she hasn't made videos to my knowledge, unless I've just missed the uploads. So, yeah. Um, fact. So oh, oh, right. I realized what I didn't finish. I need to go through here, do this. I really like this block palette. That's why I'm not abandoning it. Like I like the stripped spruce wood. I like the spruce wood a lot better than I used to. I think my tastes have changed a little bit. I like this kind of like mid-dark wood, which is always like what I want when it comes to like stained wood. I don't want anything real light, like almost an orange looking wood. I want something that looks sort of dark, but I don't want like dark oak in Minecraft. I want this. I want this kind of light brown, medium brown looking um tint to any sort of stained wood that I would get. So let's see, let's just go through here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull, once I get the roof completely off of it, I'm going to pull the I'm going to pull out the whole farm in quadrants. So what I'm going to do is, hold on, let me find where, is this the line? Yeah, this is the line. Um, yeah, it's this 9 that leads to a pit. I'm basically going to pull off the roof here, and then I'm going to do it in quadrants. I'm going to take off each layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this side first, and then I'll start move over, take off this side, then I will jump over to this side, take it all off, and then I will do that one, and I'll just cycle my way down. This is probably going to be several hours worth of work, but I'm going to do the first hour of it on stream, and then I'm going to hop off, and then maybe by the next time I stream, oh, well, there's a little stopgap there, I guess. I needed to be able to create that pattern, but hopefully next stream I will be able to just um, start building. If I can start building, it'll make things better. Everyone. So, um, let's go ahead and finish taking off the roof in this stream. So, do that. And then maybe, depending on how long I've been going, let's see, it's 50 minutes. Um, I'm not one to discourage myself by going for 3 hours and have no one to talk to. No offense to anyone that watches this later, but I've consistently only shown one viewer on Twitch, and I think the people in my OBS chat are bot names, unless of course I get a chat response from an actual person. Oh, it is raining. Um, yeah. So still showing that I have users in chat. Some of which have been on Twitch for a while. I just don't have responses. It's showing I don't have viewers, which is weird. Update Twitch. I'm gonna reload Twitch. Yes, and see if that helps. I'm still only showing one viewer. Okay. Can y'all hear me? Are y'all still here? Hmm. Oh well. Oh right, if I'm gonna have sponges, I should have a hoe. Great. That's on me though. So that part of the roof. This is going to be the difficult part. These two. Go ahead and pull this off. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Alright, so let's do this. We'll go down there in a moment and grab that piece, that plank, because I don't want it despawning. Alright. Wish me luck not to die. Keep inventories on, so I just need to enter my inventory before it kills me. Okay, cool. Okay, just need to go this way. And since I'm going to be breaking all this glass anyways, that, I'm good to go. Ooh. Ooh, I'm glad I just didn't keep holding W, because that would have ended with me going straight back into the hole. And luckily, if anything falls in here, it's just going to end up going into the hoppers down at the bottom. So I'll be able to retrieve it later. Um, I need to get an iron farm online so I can have iron tools. If you two are actually in chat, what do y'all want to? What do y'all think would be something cool to see added into the list of things being coming in 1.17? If you're interested in Minecraft news and follow that too much at all. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to keep streaming Minecraft. I think I'm going to probably switch to a different game. And that's a little bit less popular, so maybe I can be competitive. Yeah, I'll go for Persona 5 Royal. That's been out for a few months. I'm currently doing a playthrough of it. may do a play. I may go back to doing a playthrough of Dragon's Age. I have a big enough computer screen now. I could sit here and do the PS Play, and since now I have the dual screens, I don't have to worry about. I think that'll probably be the way to go. Just PS just PlayStation games. Maybe do some Once Justice or something like that. Just something that's not pop. I don't know. I could switch to Surviving Mars. I should also up the energy. It's also past 10. I'm very close to my 1 hour limit set, and I don't really want to go past 10. I may try again. It's also Christmas. May try again after Christmas break. Or I may try tomorrow earlier in the day, maybe. I have a dentist appointment and then I'm going to be gone. So I may not be able to do earlier in the day, but I'll try for early day. See if that affects what I get. Yeah. I'm gonna finish getting this part of this roof off, and then we're going to be done tonight. So, again, if y'all are actually there, I would appreciate just some response in the chat, please. I guess can't be, I can't be picky, I guess. That was almost bad. So let's see. Let's just another dolphin. Yep. Kidding me. Well, in here, let's get the resources, put them in the chest, and then we'll say goodbye. Next appointment tomorrow. I try to do a couple 2 hour streams and see what it's like. May do one before I go to the dentist. There are a lot more resources put into this build than I thought. Granted, this is also just the roof and the all of that, so probably not as many of the stripped logs, but that is a lot of planks. I haven't even pulled any planks off of that yet. I pulled 2, and then I pulled those 5. Yeah, that's dang. Now I got a lot of doors, a lot of ladders, stairs, slabs. Oh, I still need to put the stone slabs with the rest of them. Just there. The ladders up. Oh wow, I have. There's a lot. Let's put the extra torches right there. And well, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I bid you farewell. I really should have just alt tabbed. Anyways, bye.